It's July 2026. Right now, wildfire is burning across 4 countries at once: Portugal, Spain, Greece, and France. Near the town of Vucela in central Portugal, more than 1,200 firefighters and 15 aircraft are fighting a single blaze that has already burned roughly 12,000 hectares. You've seen the headline before: Goats Save Village from Wildfire. It sounds like a fairy tale written for clicks. It isn't. Right now, in the hills above fires exactly like this one, herds of goats in Portugal, officially nicknamed cabras sapadoras, engineer goats, are being sent in on purpose, not to fight flames, to make sure the flames have nothing left to eat. But here's what nobody tells you. This story also involves a multi-billion-euro company quietly profiting from the exact fuel the goats remove. It involves wolves hunting the very goats sent in to help, and it involves a government program so badly designed that it accidentally proved something true about human nature. Let that sit. To understand why anyone would send a goat to do a firefighter's job, you first need to understand how big this problem actually is. Not big like a bad year, big like a continent losing count. 2025 was the worst wildfire year the European Union has ever officially recorded, going back to 2006, when satellite tracking under the EU's EFIS system began. Over 1,079,538 hectares burned. 25 of the EU's 27 member states were hit. That's an area larger than the entire island nation of Cyprus, gone in 12 months. Here's the part that should actually stop you. 460,585 hectares of that total 43% of everything burned across the whole European Union that year happened in just 22 fires over 3 weeks in August in only 2 countries, Portugal and Spain. An area larger than Luxembourg, torched in 21 days. One single fire near the town of Arar in Spain's Galicia region grew into the largest wildfire in Spain this century, 44,424 hectares, larger than the entire country of Malta. At least 30 people died. Over 100,000 were evacuated. And separately, this part usually gets lost. Spain's own health institute recorded 1,149 additional deaths between August 3rd and 18th, 2025, from heat alone, layered on top of the fire deaths themselves. The World Weather Attribution Research Group, studying the disaster afterward, concluded conditions like these are now expected roughly once every 15 years. Not once a century, once every 15 years. And 2026 is already running ahead of it. This month, Portugal's fires are burning at roughly double the pace they were at this exact point in 2025. Nobody has fixed this. Not with money, not with aircraft, not yet. For decades, the plan to deal with this looked almost identical in every government building from Lisbon to Athens: buy more fire engines, buy more aircraft, spray more chemical retardant, bulldoze more concrete fire breaks through the hills. It was treated as the only serious option. The modern one. The one you'd see on the evening news, officials standing in front of a water bombing plane. Right now, the European Commission has ordered 12 new firefighting aircraft and 5 new helicopters for exactly this reason: a permanent fleet, based across Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Croatia, and Greece. Here's the catch nobody puts in the press release. Those planes won't arrive until 2028. Meanwhile, a far older, far cheaper system had already been doing this exact job quietly for 6,000 years before nearly all of it was allowed to disappear across the last 2 generations. Spain's countryside has lost 28% of its population over the last half-century. Nearly half of the country's municipalities are still shrinking today. The shepherds who used to walk these exact hills, eating the undergrowth down before it could ever become fuel, weren't replaced. Nobody voted to end it. Nobody announced it was over. It just got old-fashioned, unprofitable, beneath notice. The hills got hungrier every year that nobody was watching them. Nobody noticed. Until now. The question nobody was asking out loud yet was almost embarrassingly simple. What if the answer wasn't a new invention at all? What if it was something Europe already had, and had simply stopped using. Meet Fernando Moura. He runs a herd of 370 goats through Portuguese hills that used to hold thousands of grazing animals and hundreds of shepherds like him. Today, by his own account, he's the last one left in his region. Over 5 years, his goats alone have cleared roughly 125 acres of exactly the kind of dry undergrowth that turns a small grass fire into an unstoppable one. Nobody trained him for a new career. This was simply the only life he'd ever known. Everyone else in his generation walked away from it toward cities, toward factory work, toward anything steadier than herding animals through brush for a living. Fernando just didn't. Before I tell you what happened next, you need to understand what forced Portugal's hand. 2017. That year, wildfires burned 500,000 hectares nationwide, 5% of the entire country, including a catastrophic blaze near Pedrógão Grande that killed dozens of people in a single day. Investigators later found that eucalyptus and pine plantations covered roughly 70% of the ground it scorched. This is where Portugal's forestry service, ICAMF, did something that changed everything. In the wake of that disaster, they launched a pilot program, pay shepherds, the Fernandos of the country, to bring their herds back into the hills on purpose as living, walking fire breaks. Officials were cautious about it. Forestry official Nuno Sequeira described the early results as encouraging, while making clear the real goal was learning enough to expand it responsibly later. It was small, it was underfunded. It was also, for the first time in 2 generations, official. Here's where the story gets strange. Portugal's answer was a subsidy, pay shepherds directly through the government. It sounds obvious. As you're about to see, it also nearly failed completely. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Iberian Peninsula, in Catalonia, a different group had already stumbled onto something more elegant. In 2016, in Girona province, a coalition called Ramats de Foc Fireflocks formed between the Pau Costa Foundation and GRAF, the Catalan Fire Service's own forest fire specialists. These are actual firefighters. The people who map exactly which hillsides will funnel flame toward a village if left unmanaged. Their insight was almost embarrassingly simple. Instead of paying a shepherd through a subsidy that depends on government budgets and paperwork nobody has time for, what if you paid them through the food people already buy? Ramats de Foc certifies the meat and cheese from farms grazing inside these fire risk corridors with a special label. Shoppers choose it off a shelf like any other product. The farmer gets paid by the market, every week, not by a government check that might or might not arrive on time. The firefighters get their fire break maintained permanently by an economic engine that doesn't depend on anyone's political priorities. It sounds so simple, you'd wonder why nobody built it sooner. Here's why. A subsidy is designed by people who assume the state alone should pay for a public good that no single buyer directly profits from. Nobody had ever built the paperwork to imagine a wheel of shepherd's cheese quietly funding a firebreak. It wasn't dismissed because it was wrong. It was dismissed because it wasn't anyone's job to think of it. Now here's the part of the story most goat headlines conveniently skip. Between 2018 and 2019, Portugal put 10 million on the table across 3 separate funding rounds, specifically to pay shepherds like Fernando to bring their herds back into the hills. What they found shattered every assumption the program was built on. Shepherds barely applied. Of that 10 million, only around 800,000 was ever claimed, about 8%. 92% of the money sat completely unused. In the end, just 48 herds signed up, covering only 3,346 hectares, a fraction of what the program had been designed to protect. Lesser people walk away at this point. By every normal measure, this was exactly the kind of failure that quietly kills a program, buried in a budget report nobody reads. But ICNF, Portugal's own forestry service, did something most institutions don't. It admitted why. Officials said the per hectare payment was simply too low for how physically demanding the work actually is, and there was no support to help shepherds, many of them older. Many with no experience filing government paperwork actually complete the application. It wasn't that shepherds didn't want to help protect their own country from fire, it's that the system asked an aging herder, managing hundreds of animals across a mountainside all day, to also become an expert in U-grant forms, for barely enough money to cover the diesel. The failure wasn't the goats, it was the form. By early 2025, Portugal was already redesigning the entire incentive scheme using the exact data this failure had handed them for free. Higher pay, simpler applications, a program rebuilt from the wreckage of the one before it. It didn't work the first time. That's not the same as not working. So does any of this actually work? Here's where theory finally meets the ground. A Nevada rangeland study, published in the peer-reviewed journal iForest, found that concentrated grazing stripped away 73% of available forage and cut ground litter by 60%. Fire behavior experts calculated that alone could cut a fire's rate of spread by roughly 75%, dropping flame height from 6 to 10 feet down to just 2 to 3 feet. 2 to 3 feet. That's survivable. A separate study, modeled through fire behavior software called FlamMap, found grazing reduced total fire extent by as much as 60.9% in an average year, and still by 25.9% even in the wettest years, when it matters least. You've probably already seen the most famous proof of this, even without knowing the details. In 2019, roughly 500 goats grazing the hills around the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, a building that houses an actual piece of the Berlin Wall, chewed a firebreak into the hillside before the Easy Fire arrived. Flames got within 30 yards of the building. It survived, untouched. By 2023, that same hillside was hosting nearly 700 goats a year. And here's what nobody mentions in the highlight reel. As goats return to these abandoned hills, so do their oldest enemies. Wolves, recolonizing the same emptied Iberian countryside, now feed heavily on livestock goats alone account for roughly 27% of all recorded predation losses in Portugal. Even the rescue needs rescuing. The newest chapter is already being written. GPS-guided collars and invisible fence controlled entirely from a phone are already being piloted inside Catalonia's own Rematsdefoc network. So far with donkeys, with goats and sheep expected to follow. It solves the one problem no subsidy or label ever could. There simply aren't enough shepherds left to walk every hillside by hand. Here's the real lesson underneath every number in this video. Europe didn't need to invent something new to survive this crisis. It needed to stop treating 6,000 years of working knowledge as obsolete the moment it stopped being profitable. The most advanced wildfire technology currently deployed in Europe might not be a fleet of aircraft that won't land until 2028. It might be a 33-year-old cheesemaker named Laura Martinez, walking 150 goats and 25 sheep across the Sierra Norte de Madrid for about $5,000 a year, doing a job her neighbors nicknamed Over Bombera firefighter sheep because there isn't a more serious-sounding title for saving your country by hand. Somewhere in your own life, there's probably a version of this. An old skill someone in your family let go of because it stopped looking modern. A slow answer everyone quietly stopped believing in right before it turned out to be the only thing that actually worked. The fires are still burning as you watch this. The only real question left is this: what have you already written off as old-fashioned that might still be the answer?